Welcome to Identified with entrepreneur Paul Blaine and Mr. Britain men's physique champion Will Barton. Hello. Last time you saw us two, we were in Spain enjoying the sunshine, and now we are back in good old northwest of England enjoying the rain. But if you did watch the last video, I hope you enjoyed it, and we're going to be running these on a regular basis, just to try and give you some insight into the world of health, fitness, and a little bit of business as well, because we both have that background and it's almost my day-to-day occurrence. I'm here again with Mr. Britain, men's physique champion, and we'll get into that conversation as we go along. If you didn't watch that last video, by the way, go and have a look at it, because it's really good, insightful stuff. But today's topic that we want to talk about, or I certainly want to talk about, is supplements. So Will, based on this, I was doing a little bit of research, and the supplement industry in the UK is worth £1.5 billion per year. I mean, that's quite a lot of money.
It's believable though, isn't it?
I know.
Who doesn't supplement their training?
But, I mean, before I started coming to you for coaching, and we started training together, I was kind of one of these people, and you may be the same, where I was going basically onto the internet and I was reading reviews and looking at the powerful images, muscle mass, this thing's gonna cut your fat, it targets the right area. And then you were reading reviews, and maybe 5 or 6 reviews on it, and then you were just buying it, whether it was off Amazon or a different site. But in fairness, I didn't have a bloody clue what it was that I was taking or doing. I wasn't reading the ingredients on the back. I didn't know how it fitted in with everything else that I was doing. And then I remember sitting down with you for the first time, and you turning around and saying, why are you taking this? Why are you taking that? Let's get this out of it. And I didn't have an answer for it. But do you get that with clients that come to you?
Yeah, but I do, probably with almost everyone I train.
Yeah.
But that's the power of the supplement industry's marketing. They make you think it's essential. But the term itself, supplement, it's supplementary to everything else that you're doing. And that's what we've got to remember.
That's what people forget, don't they? Supplement.
Yeah.
So people are using it as more like replacement.
Yeah, replacement for meals, replacement for sleep, replacement for
Absolutely.
effort,
Because my missus, there's a good one on this. A parcel arrived. A parcel arrives here all the time. As you've noticed since being in my kitchen, I think we're either the Amazon depot or she's having an affair with the Amazon driver. It's one of the two. She'll hate me for saying that, by the way. But she got a parcel arrived and she opened up, and it was fat burning pills. And when I looked at the receipt, they'd been shipped from China. So I just went on and Googled them. And these were outlawed in the UK by the Department of Health, and it caused serious liver damage. And in a couple of occasions, it had been noted that they were aligned to death. So if people don't know what they're looking at, I was like, you can't take these. But her idea in her head and the marketing that she had read around it was, I just need to take these and I'll lose weight. She hadn't thought of any platform of infrastructure in terms of what needed to go with that. And I think that's the message that marketing's sending out.
Yeah, again, she's considered them as a replacement for any adherence to a food plan or any actual expenditure in the gym or cardiovascular wise. She's considered them a replacement rather than supplementary to getting everything else in line first.
And well, let's touch on that, everything else in line first. So it should start obviously with your nutrition, your diet.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously, if we take that as an example, she's trying to lose weight. Does she know what she's eating? It doesn't necessarily mean that you've got to have a really specific structure. You don't have to have a food plan as such, but I'd say you've at least got to be tracking your macronutrients, using one of the apps or something like that, before you start supplementing any fat burning products or similar. So, you know, does she know what her intake is? Does she know what her output is? Is she, when she goes to the gym, does she know how much calories she's burning when she goes for a run or whatever? So that's the kind of things you got to sort of at least have an understanding of before, in my view, before you took any strong fat burning products.
Yeah, get your foundations right.
Yeah.
Things like Apple Watches and other brands.
It's easy to do.
Good. I mean, they may not be completely accurate, but they're close enough.
Yeah, and they're consistent. Even if they're not accurate, they're consistently a little bit inaccurate.
Yeah.
So.
And then know what you're eating. I mean, you might not be somebody that wants to count every calorie, but at least look at your diet and what you're eating.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I take it, best thing then is to come to someone like yourself and start to look at, okay, well, what am I going to go to the gym? Do I want to do a lot more cardio? Is it strength and conditioning, or do I want to mix it up? And you set out the plan. That would be the case. And
then it becomes my responsibility to work out the balance of output, input, energy expenditure, all the rest of it, and obviously takes the workload off the client, doesn't it? That being said, there is simple ways to get the ball rolling with it, isn't there? You know, you can, like you say, use your Apple Watch. You can use apps, MyFitnessPal as an example. You know, you can see what your total intake is for the day, assuming you track it accurately, right? But yeah,
so you do that, get your exercise program, put that in place. But let's say you are someone, you've got a big holiday that's coming up. It's 8 weeks away. You kind of are definitely not getting into the shorts or the bikini or the swimming suit that you had last year. And you know that you want to lose 2 stone in weight to be able to do that. I think that's the point where marketing catches these people and says, we've got the silver bullet for you that will get you there, which is a load of crap, really. Because without that infrastructure you talked about, because it might be possible, but we don't want to go down a route of extremism.
Yeah, starvation.
That's going to make yourself ill. Yeah. And also, you're not going to get consistency then, are you? Because if you kind of go on a yo-yo, so all that's going to happen is you might lose the weight rapidly, feel demotivated, and then you go on holiday and it's all back. Then you come off holiday and you don't get back into the flow.
Yeah, that's it. And if it's an extreme measure as well, so you know there's certain supplements out there that will suppress your appetite as well as increase your essentially your metabolism. Really good in a short burst of time. When you stop taking them, like I say, you get the rebound, but also you generally feel pretty unhealthy with those kind of products, you know, in your supplement.
Yeah. Right, okay, so let's move it on a notch. So I've got my eating plan right. I've got my gym plan going. I've been hitting the gym now for 12 weeks, 13 weeks. Where would the starting process? I want to see improvement. I am naturally seeing improvement, but I kind of want to accelerate that a bit. I may be getting soreness, stiffness. I may want to increase my strength. What point then do we start looking at supplements, and what sort of supplements?
I mean, for me, supplements you can always be safe with, and I include in training plans even for new starters. Creatine, of course, that's a no-brainer. A lot of people will benefit from the convenience of a whey protein. And multivitamins, again, a no-brainer, especially when you're in a calorie deficit. If you are trying to get rid of your fat for your holiday or whatever, like you're probably in a calorie deficit. Well, you will be in a calorie deficit. With that in mind, you're probably not getting all the nutrition from food, all the nutrients, all the vitamins from the food. So multivitamins always a pretty safe bet as well. And then other supplements, depending on objective, depending on your goal as well.
Just coming back on a couple of those there, because the ones that I was always used to was creatine and whey protein.
Yeah.
But when you go onto the marketplace, there's actually there's a number of different variations of creatine.
Yeah, for sure.
So I mean, I've seen the ones that are the tablet form that you eat. I've seen the powders. Is it monohydrate? Or
Yeah.
So, which one do you? What's the difference, if there is a difference?
Probably, until you get really specific, there isn't a huge difference in terms of value for money versus effectivity. Creatine monohydrate in a powdered form is a safe bet for everybody.
And it's quite cheap.
Yeah, it's cheap. You get 50 servings for sub 20 quid always. You know what you're going to get. There doesn't tend to be any extra ingredients in it. It literally is what it says on the tin, which is all you need for a creatine supplement.
On that one, I remember reading an article and it said that you should load up on creatine over a week, so take a lot more and then go to a normal consistency. But you never done that with me. You were sort of like, let's just get a consistent balance.
Yeah, I'm quite a firm believer of that. It's a supplement. So as a general rule, we add in 5 grams of creatine daily. You're already getting creatine from your meat sources, from your diet. Mm-hmm. So there's no real need to preload it. But what it does do from a marketing point of view, means you take twice as much for the first 10 to 12 days or whatever it might be. And then you need to buy it again in no time, don't you? So
absolutely. Okay, so that answers the creatine question. I agree, 5 grams a day, absolutely fine. Cheap, there's no reason not to be on it. I've certainly found the benefit of strength. Even when I was doing a lot of endurance, I used to take creatine.
Yeah.
I found it beneficial.
Everybody, not even limited to athletes or gym goers, everybody needs creatine in their diet in some aspects. So to supplement it does no harm for anybody. Okay,
whey protein. Probably got to be the biggest selling thing on the market.
Yeah.
Again, different variations. I've seen the tubs that come and mass protein building shakes. Dirt cheap at that point. As I said, come in a huge bucket. But in terms of how often and how much you're taking of it, what's the difference between that than buying sort of another type of protein shake that doesn't announce itself as mass bulk? What is it? The formula that's in it, or is it just marketing gimmicks again?
I know it's quite often a formula. The mass gainers or mass builders, whatever they're branded as, tend to be. They have a lot of carbohydrates in, generally quite a bit of sugar. They're just calorie dense shakes. Also generally awful tasting, by the way.
Yeah, they are.
But yeah, so from my point of view, and I'd never ask any of my clients to have a mass gainer or anything like that, because nutritionally their values aren't great on the whole. The protein itself, as we know, you need protein. In your nutrition plan to whatever amount of grams we decide. How you get to that protein content, it can be fully through food, but generally for convenience we add shakes in for just to make life easier.
To supplement.
To supplement, exactly that. So from my point of view, we're always looking for high protein. It doesn't have to be an isolate, it can be a concentrate, that's fine with me. High protein, low sugar, low fat, and also an obviously important thing, if you're having one a day, it's got to have a reasonably good taste, doesn't it? So.
And there is some nice taste out there.
There is.
Milk or water?
It's objective specific. Okay. Most of the time with water, from my point of view, just because it doesn't add to the fat content, it doesn't add if you have it with milk, you're increasing fat, you're increasing carbs. Obviously you get a little bit of protein from milk, but with water it's fine and more easily monitored as well.
Perfect. So on the basis of that, normally somebody going to the gym is going to go on to creatine, as we worked out, and they're going to go on to a whey protein, but it's going to be low in sugar, low in fats. It's there to serve as actually getting your protein intake up.
Yeah. Okay,
we move then on to, so you've got me actually on another 2 supplements as well. So you make me take Carb X, I think it is, when I'm working out,
Yeah.
and also amino acids, which sounds worse than what it is, as a recovery to that. So what did they, I mean, the CarbX pretty much speaks for itself, but I think for the viewers.
Yeah, so the CarbX, Applied Nutrition CarbX product is basically just a highly bound cyclic dextrin. It's easily digestible, ready when you need it, carbohydrates,
Yeah.
which obviously in your scenario, in a show prep, probably pretty deprived of carbs at this point in comparison to what
absolutely.
you're used to. It's a nice, and especially as you train so early in the morning, it's a nice easy way to get easily digested carbs into your body while you're training. Gives you a little bit of the energy source. And the essential amino acids, basically a type of protein, if we're simplifying things. Again, easily digestible, ready when you need them. Even more so for you when you're training fasted, first thing in the morning, you've got to get something in. You've got to fuel your workout. So obviously your first meal is as soon as you finish training, but you've done an hour's worth of work before that, haven't you?
So and you're getting out of bed and you're feeling a little bit lethargic. You're going in, especially reverse sessions, that's quite heavy, right from the off, so and intense. So yeah, I get it. You need that
So
fast
fuel.
release fuel. And in terms of the amino acids, that's just for recovery, is it?
Yeah, essentially, amino acids are what your protein is breaking down into. Helps with tissue repair, which obviously you need to get started in, especially in your scenario, as soon as during your workout. As soon as you finish your workout, you want the amino acids readily available for your body to do what it needs to do with them.
Yeah.
So, a nice, easy way to do it, really.
Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about in terms of that is pre-workout drinks.
Yeah.
So I kind of love my pre-workout drink. It gives me a real good buzz.
Yeah.
And a funny story is that my missus, who's just started really going to she's working out with yourself. You're doing a fantastic job with her.
Thank you.
Because she had zero motivation to go to the gym. But again, this is a reason to actually look at coaching, because she came on the online system, but she started doing a couple of face-to-face with you.
For sure.
It's the accountability that she feels like she needs to go, and all of a sudden that's transpired into a change in mindset, that now it's not I need to go, it's I want to go.
Yeah.
And now she's looking at a diet around that, and all of a sudden I was working away this week and I get some message that she has taken some of my pre-workout drink, to which means that by the time it got to 11 o'clock at night, because I think she took it at around about 8 o'clock in the evening.
Not on my advice.
No, not on. She's wondering why she can't get to sleep at 11 o'clock at night. In terms of pre-workout, because I know we've spoke to people in the gym about that, and I've said, how do you actually get yourself that when you come into the gym you feel like you're ready to go? And some people lack that motivation, and it could be because they're training early in the morning or they've had a long day at work. So is that something that you recommend to people?
From my point of view, a pre-workout isn't essential. Like, you can still train without it. But does it help, like you say, does it help with mindset? Certainly. Does it help with the feeling of your session? A lot of the pre-workouts have pump additives, so they give you muscle fullness, they give you a bit of vascularity, make you look good when you're training, essentially. Right. So do you need them? No. Do they help with motivation? Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So yeah, if it makes you feel good.
I mean, are they just literally a pure caffeine burst? Is that the main makeup of them?
There's two types of pre-workout. So there's obviously caffeine-based products like you use, and the stimulant-free ones, which are more like what I tend to use. Obviously, I train a little bit later in the day. I'm a little bit better fueled. Shouldn't be tired, really, but jury's out on that one. So the stimulant-free products just tend to have the pump ingredients. So sometimes we've got some nootropics in, help you with a bit of focus, but they tend to be more focused on the pump. So they'll give you muscle fullness, help with contraction, make you feel more veiny, vascular, bigger while you're training. Do they give you a little bit more strength potentially? Yeah, but a lot of people prefer the I mean, the world runs on caffeine, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of people like the caffeinated stimulant products as well.
Would there be much difference having a cup of coffee before you went to the gym?
Yeah, because because the caffeine is only one of the ingredients, right? So, and also, I couldn't tell you exactly what amount of caffeine is in a coffee, but it's certainly not as much as in the pre-workout you take.
Yeah. So what about, I've seen people walk into the gym, big can of Red Bull or a can of Monster in the hand. They're just using that as a pre-workout energy drink.
It's just for caffeine. Again, it's not giving them any of the, you're not getting the focused additives.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting the pump additives. You're literally just getting the caffeine hit.
Just getting the caffeine hit.
Which is, if that's what you're after, that's probably a pretty good way to do it.
Now, I'm currently in what's called prep because I have a show coming up 5 weeks tomorrow for Masters Men's Physique because I'm that old. But in terms of in that prep, what I struggled with was sleep. I've always been a very poor sleeper, always. Mine seems to work in overdrive and overtime. And I can get to sleep no problem. And then all of a sudden 2 hours later I wake up with an idea that we're going to do this. In fact, this all came from 2 o'clock in the morning, waking up, and then I messaged Will, and lo and behold, I either woke him up or he was awake at that time, and said, yeah, let's have a go at it. But I reached out to your sponsor, who I think you should give him a mention.
Yeah, for sure. Andrew, AD Body Tech.
Yeah. Around what sort of supplement could aid my sleep. And he was kind enough to send me out. It's in the cupboard, I can't remember what it's called.
Supreme Sleep.
Supreme Sleep. But it also, when I was looking at it, has a fat burner in it. That while you're asleep at night, it's aiding fat burning as well. So, would you recommend, in somebody that's in prep, or somebody that's thinking, I've got this holiday coming up, I want to look great around the swimming pool?
I like supplements for their primary objective. Obviously, if you need a sleep supplement, you're looking for something with zinc, magnesium, ashwagandha, and obviously whatever other sleep encouraging ingredients there is. If it offers a bit of fat burning as an extra, well, that's good news as well, I guess. But my objective, if I'm suggesting any supplements to any of my clients, it's got a specific purpose.
Yeah. Now, going back to Andrew, who we'll tag him in on this.
Yeah.
So that you can start following him, because he does post an awful lot, which is brilliant stuff. But I go back to where we started originally with this. Marketing is really luring people into the supplement business. It's not necessarily always giving an accurate message. I definitely work in the world of sales. You used to work in the world of sales. So we both know exactly what marketing does, and we both know how you're trying to sell to people. And it's not always ethical. Mine is, but for some of them out there, it's not. So when it comes to people like Andrew, who has a store, I think is it in Bolton by the bus station?
It is.
Yeah, Bolton by the bus station. And there's a big picture of you as you walk through the door with your title.
Definitely the best kind of marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you, if you wanted to sort of like know more about supplements, of course people can reach out to yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
But if there is a supplement store, the suggestion's got to be, go in there and say to them, this is my goal, this is my objective, what do you recommend?
Yeah.
Because they're going to sell differently. Because they want you as a returning customer. They don't want you as an ill customer. And a returning customer is somebody who feels good about themselves, and the supplement is aiding what it is that they're trying to achieve, as opposed to being a quick fix to something that has longer term damage. So that to me is a much better option than jumping on Amazon. I hope Jeff Bezos, and not that he'll be bloody watching this, but I need to watch because I think I've slated everybody so far. But that's got to be
even his driver.
that's got to be a much better way forward than jumping on an Amazon and looking at stuff that you've not got any bloody clue about, or reading Google reviews. Because here's another thing about marketing, is that if I put a product online, then the chances are those reviews you're reading are people that are linked to the product. So it's not necessarily real reviews that you're seeing from people who independently bought the product and come, because they'll just make sure the top ones are always ones that are likable. So you kind of either want to find your local supplement store and go and speak to them, or reach out to someone like Will. I mean, that's where your online service is bloody brilliant, really. So, you know, if you're thinking, do you know what, these guys are talking a lot about supplements here. I'm going to be honest with you, as I said right from the start, I knew nothing really about them. I was probably someone like you that's watching this. I'll just take a scoop of anything and everything. Going to someone like Will, that's where all of a sudden you get the right advice, because you can spend a bloody fortune on this. And like you said, the infrastructure is the most important thing. Get that right, and then supplement.
And the essential supplements as well. One thing I would say, the essential supplements, single ingredient products or less ingredient products, they're half the price of the, you know, the all singing, all dancing, probably a little bit gimmicky type products as well. So, you know, you save yourself a fortune just by winding it back, deciding what you actually need for your objective. You know, you probably save yourself hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds. Which literally, all of a sudden I can now come to you for less than that and have an online coach, somebody that's going to talk me through and actually be accountable for my nutrition values, accountable for my supplements. Normally has a really good relationship or sponsor like you, so you can get discount codes at the stores, and at least you know everything that you're doing is right, and it's an expert that's actually advising you on this. There's nowhere else you would actually just go to and buy something that you knew nothing about and put it down your throat.
Yeah.
You know, but in our industry, it seems to be
it's a norm.
The norm, yeah. Okay, so just lastly touching on, so we mentioned I'm in prep mode. So my supplement range is very, very structured in terms of what I take. You are not in prep mode. You're in the opposite of that, as we discovered in Spain. You know, when you were enjoying yourself and I was sort of like sat there drooling from the corner of my mouth. So what sort of supplements are you on right now in off season?
I mean, the fundamentals, the main supplements that I consume are the same as you. So obviously I've got a multivitamin, I've got my intra-workout carbs, cyclic dextrin, I've got whey protein. Extra supplements I take a digestive enzyme, because my food's quite high.
Yeah.
Anything you can do to ease digestive load, you should. And I also use a supplement called cream of rice, which is just, again, a nice, easy, cheap, digestible
What's
carbohydrate
that do?
source. It's literally just a carbohydrate.
Right.
So
okay.
in the same way as porridge is a carb or whatever, it's just an easy way to get quite a large amount of easily digestible carbs in.
Good stuff. Any recommendations going back to the person that's going on holiday and is seriously considering slimming pills?
Don't. Literally that. I mean, there is fat burning products on the market that are more responsibly formulated, shall we say. But again, it's always worth having a chat with, you know, if you've got a specific goal, have a chat with someone like me, someone like Andrew, and just see what sort of, how far you want to take it, what extremity you want to go to, because, you know, some of them are potent, they increase metabolism, they increase heart rate a lot.
That's the danger though, isn't it, with some of them, that you're putting it in, and with fat burning pills especially, if they're not sort of like recommending with an exercise plan or a calorie deficit plan, then the only way that can possibly be working is to increase your heart rate so that literally as you walk or do any activity, it's burning more calories and making you sweat. But that's seriously dangerous. I mean, my background is health, but the medical side of health. So on that basis, if somebody said to me, take this to increase your heart rate just for being awake, you'd be like, are you mad?
Yeah, especially for someone like you who has been a performance endurance athlete.
Yeah.
You spend the whole of your time trying to reduce your resting heart rate to theoretically be healthier, to then take a fat burning supplement to send it right the way back up.
Brilliant. Well, we called this identified. So I hope what we've done there is identify a good range of supplements. We'll put information into the comments. If you are looking at a particular supplement, then if you want to post it into the comments, then Andrew, who we will tag in, he will come back to you with information, or Will himself will come back to you with information related to that. But yeah, this has been the supplement one, and we'll come back to you next week with another topic. But Will, it's always a pleasure, mate. We had a bloody good workout session this morning, and we've got 5 weeks to go until we're in Hull. Oh, well, I have, on stage with you shouting in the background, show those abs. But, yeah.